Welcome to the Unwind Rewind. Na-na-na-na-na-na. I'm your first host. My name is Nicholas. He's your second host. His name is Jeffrey.
I bet my neighbors hate me.
We're gonna bring the news that matters the most to use. I didn't pull that last part off.
You almost did. I thought it was beautiful. I couldn't stop laughing.
Unwind Rewind.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's another episode of Unwind Rewind. I'm your host Nick. If you didn't get that from the amazing intro.
Yeah, I'm your untalented host Jeffrey. Because I'm not able to sing apparently. Like this man over here.
So, what are we going to talk about today, Jeffrey?
We have a lot on the agenda.
We don't.
No, we don't.
It was a very slow week for news.
Yes, it was.
And maybe that's for the best, because maybe we will finally get this shit under 2 hours.
Possibly. I mean,
it's going to happen.
It's going to. We will.
So what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer.
Yeah, we have the Sonic announcement movie. That's hilarious. Hercules trailer. Prometheus 2. Called it.
Yeah, called it.
Days of Future Past trailer. We could talk about how the wigs are awful, but that's a Taylor. Anyways, that'd be more suit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried.
Hey.
You got anything?
Nope.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
There was really nothing.
There's some set photos for Age of Ultron we might talk about.
Maybe,
That's about it.
Yeah, I mean, hell, if you're interested, Barbershop 3. That's a thing now, apparently.
So, Jeffrey,
let's start off.
How have you been?
I have been great. How have you been?
Not bad.
Great.
Not too bad.
Great.
Jeffrey, I am, if I am correct, which I am, I know I'm correct.
Whoa.
I know, I'm always right.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, you had a panel yesterday where you got to talk about superhero movies and stuff like that, like Winter Soldier and Spider-Man.
I was part of our school's sort of Comic-Con.
Oh, you ruined it by saying it was our school. Our audience might have thought, wow, Unwind Rewind is actually popular enough that they have their own panel at conventions.
I've been a part of 2 panels before a different convention. Well, at one convention, it was 2 different panels, but I mean that was
not for this show.
Yeah, not for this show.
Our shitty show will never get a panel.
I
was sitting in the audience going like, Jeffrey, give us a plug,
and they wouldn't even give me a mic.
Yeah,
that was. Yeah.
But how was that? How was your?
I mean,
how was your convention?
It was a good experience. Had fun in it. We didn't get to talk too much. It was really only an hour long because they were having a secret sort of special panel right afterwards, which happened to be including one of the editors for Walking Dead.
Oh.
So
the comic or the show?
I wasn't quite sure.
I didn't show up for it.
I wasn't able to.
Yeah,
but it might have been the comic, actually. I do believe it might have been the comic. And they were talking about writing about it. But, we talked about comic book movies and, our initial thoughts on it, what we felt. We talked about Captain America, Days of Future's Past,
X-Men stuff,
X-Men, Spider-Man, and then after that we talked a little bit about Guardians and then a little bit about Godzilla, which I had a field day with.
Awesome.
I mean, you know how I am.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can remember in our second episode, Godzilla. Whoa, yeah. You can go back and listen to us.
I will say that that convention. Now, I don't know how many viewers we have. 12? We might have lost half of them last time.
Yeah.
We have 6 viewers?
6 viewers left.
I don't know who those 6 viewers are. So I might insult somebody. But here we go. Brace yourselves.
I'm bracing. I'm ready.
That convention was a little on the disappointing side.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's not too surprising because it was a school convention. It was like a miniature Comic-Con at our school.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there's not a lot of people that show up.
There wasn't at the beginning. And then I was actually surprised by how many people did show up towards the beginning. And then it just sort of like fizzled out later on as it went. I will say for their first one, it wasn't bad.
I will give them credit. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. I thought it was going to be a lot more cringeworthy, like walking in there, like 4 booths and just like 10 people.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't advertised enough for it, honestly.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. You know, I saw that. I posted on the page that convention had a Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I posted this huge post asking for details, like what's going to be there, who's going to be there for like booths. Are there going to be panels? Are there going to be costume stuff? Because I don't want to wear a costume if nobody else is doing that. Like that's like a no-no.
Yeah.
For one thing, I wasn't even sure if we were allowed to. Like, I was worried that maybe the cops would just beat me with a nightstick if I showed up in a Batman suit.
They came in and talked to the guy in a Boba Fett suit. Boba Fett.
You were right.
Boba Fett. Thank you.
Did they really?
Yeah. They questioned him for a little bit. I think they were just really talking to him and stuff. But man, they were getting very up close and personal, and then they were just looking really confused. So I don't know what was going on because he also
did he have that gun?
I don't know if he had the gun
because I
saw it. I think for a second he did, but I don't know.
I know our particular campus, like just for this one convention, they were like, "All right, you can wear a mask."
Yeah.
But never, ever in a million years will our campus be allowed to have toy guns.
Never.
And I did see the Boba Fett guy, but I don't remember if he had his little rifle.
I don't remember either. I felt like he did at one point, just to have it there, and it just sort of came in with him, kind of just setting up and such. But I don't think he had it with him the entire time, for show.
And I was just asking a whole bunch of questions on that Facebook page. No responses until the day of, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have all kinds of stuff." I don't know.
And the worst part wasn't I overheard a lot was like a lot of things didn't get like completely set in stone until the day before, which isn't good. I mean, and I'm sure they're going to work on that later on, and I'm sure that's a thing that's going to happen. And I do give them credit for really trying hard to bring something different to our campus.
Yeah. And you know what? Another one of my complaints that I should not be surprised about, I mean, this is like fairground for like every single convention of all time.
I think I know what you're talking about too.
I don't think you do.
Okay, never mind.
This is common for every convention, not just ours. But I was disappointed at the fucking prices for everything.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, never mind. I had a feeling it was something else.
No, I found several things I was interested in, but they were selling a Mega Man mouse pad that I wanted. I was like, oh my gosh, it's a mouse pad that has Mega Man on it. That's all it is. Yeah. I wanted it. $50.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a copy of Mario Golf for the N64 or Mario Tennis. Oh man, I love this game. I want to get it. Oh, too bad it's $60 for an N64 cartridge.
Yeah.
There was a woman selling Hero Clicks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that little game?
Yeah, I remember that.
The little tiny miniatures game with the superheroes?
Yeah.
I don't play the game, but I use those figures for other games.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to collect all the ones I want. And she had a couple of the ones I needed, and I was like, oh man, how much for your She-Hulk Hero Clicks figure? $6 when that same figure is $1.50 online. And, shit, that woman was really trying to push some sales on me. I'm like, get off!
Yeah.
I know what I want. I know what I'm looking for. Please stop. She was trying to convince me that buying the Nick Fury Hero Clicks was a really good choice, like a really good decision. She was talking about how it's a super rare from this set. I'm selling it for only $25. It's such a good deal. You should get it. I'm like, how the hell do you even know what I want? I don't want Nick Fury. Get off! Man, people were getting really pushy on trying to get me to buy stuff. And I understand. They have to make some money, otherwise there was no point in going. But
there was a guy there who spent $200.
On what?
Bought an N64.
Did he buy that N64 with the controller?
Yeah, with the controller. And a couple of games.
We looked at it, Manuela and I looked at it, and it was $70 for the console with a brand new cord and a brand new controller.
Yeah.
That I don't think is a terrible deal.
It was
I
not.
think that's an okay deal.
He's
But then I saw all the games, and I give the guy who had the booth, I give him a lot of credit because he had like every single game for the N64 there was.
Except for Conker's Bad Fur Day, which I was extremely disappointed.
Hey, he had almost every single...
I looked at him, I told him, that's disappointing. He said, oh, well. No.
And, but when I saw that all of his games were like $40 minimum, I was like, well, this isn't happening.
Like, Sonic Adventure was $35 for Dreamcast.
Yeah.
And
I saw Metal Gear Solid 2 for GameCube, which I've always wanted, but he was selling it for $55, and I'm just like, I can't do that. I'll fucking find it on eBay for $15.
Hell, GameStop said the most I can give it to you is $4. Or most I can take. Most I can give
trading
is $4.
it in.
Yeah, trading it in is like most I can give you $4.
You know, I understand that a lot of those games they're all out of.
Yeah,
you know, they're not making it anymore.
Yeah,
obviously, but
you
could. The N64 deal he had was not bad.
No,
but all his games were over expensive.
They were. And
there was that fucking girl walking around who kept on following me, and she was trying to sell me those goddamn Pokemon cookies, and I didn't want them.
That's what I actually thought where you were going to go for in the beginning. I was like, I think I know where this is going.
I'm like, oh my god, stop following me around.
Like, you want to buy Pokemon cards too? 2 for $1?
2 Pokeball cookies, $1, great deal, $1 Pokeball cookies. I don't even know why she was using that accent.
I don't even. The worst part was like when she was like agitating the people who were running the booth. She was like, "I can deliver to you," and I'm like, literally, it's like right there. Yeah, it's not like you're gonna go that far. It's like right across.
Like, she's trying to convince me to buy those cookies. So like the first time I say no, thank you. Please don't ask me again. Yeah, I'll be nice the first time, please. Oh, no, thank you. Thank you for asking me, though.
Yeah, that's the second time.
But
then the third.
She came around to me 5 or 6 times asking if I would buy her cookies, and I did not want her fucking cookies.
I just ignored her. Like,
when we got to the point where the two of us were watching them play that Blaze Blue game, and she was staying next to us, like, buy 2 Pokeball cookies, $1, great for your game, great for game. I'm like... Just ignore her. Just don't even look at her.
I didn't look at it. Like I'm sure because she was looking right at me. I literally turned my head and just kept watching the television. Yeah. I just did not want to say that. I'm like
on the crazy off chance that girl is listening to us or one of her friends is listening to us. I'm sure she is a lovely person. I'm sure she's a wonderful human being. But goddamn those cookies, I didn't want them.
There was a point. I was hungry, but I wasn't hungry for sugar. I was hungry for justice.
Like, we should have just looked at her and been like, I only eat gluten-free cookies!
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, should we get on with that show?
We should actually talk about the stories.
We do want to make this under 2 hours.
Yeah, how long was that? That was 13 minutes.
13 minutes of us talking about your fucking panel and convention.
Yeah, but it was fun. We had fun. Good job trying to put it on. Hopefully next year will be a little bit better, maybe a lot better. And sorry, girl, for making those cookies, but really, or sorry, girl, for like disappointing you for not buying your cookies. But really, though, like one time's enough, man. Yeah, I didn't ask for this. I never asked for this. Anyways, let's go into stories. Yeah. So, what story do we want to talk about first?
Well, our headline for this particular episode is going to be that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trailer.
Oh boy,
the Michael Bay.
Produced.
Ninja Turtles, yeah. Well,
John Leesman directed, or something like that. Leesman.
Have you seen the YouTube channel Black Nerd?
No.
Black Nerd? Is it Angry Black Nerd or Black Nerd Comedy? I don't remember the name.
It might be Angry Black, or like it might be Black Nerd Comedy because Angry Black Nerd kind of reminds me of Angry Joe Reviews or something like that. So it might not.
I can't think of it. Yeah. But
anyways,
he's a pretty cool guy. He's got some decent videos, and he posted one that was about the Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, and he says, I know that he says that whenever I'm talking to people, everybody gets defensive and says, Michael Bay's not making it. I get that.
Yeah, I get that.
I get that Michael Bay did not direct it. But, in the trailer, what are the first 3 things you see? Paramount Pictures.
Yep.
Michael Bay.
Yep.
Like, I don't know what the third one is, but he's like...
Building destroyed, gun shooting, and then Megan Fox.
I meant, like, the words that show on the screen.
Gotcha.
I think it's like, from Paramount Pictures, whatever other producer or distributor. And then the third thing that shows up is Michael Bay presents. Like, okay.
Yeah.
If they're going to do that, it's a Michael Bay movie.
Yep. And I agree with that, yeah. I do agree with that.
And it looks just like a Michael Bay movie.
It does.
If you took out the turtles and you replaced them with Bumblebee, it would be a Transformers movie.
Yeah, it really would.
There would be no difference.
There would be.
So, Jeffrey, what did you think about this Ninja Turtles trailer? Which, by the way, I did not think we were going to get until Captain America 2.
I thought that same thing.
That's what they said.
And that's what I'm really interested about, because people are not calling this a trailer. They're calling it a teaser. So, I'm having maybe a thought that...
Maybe there'll be a new full trailer that comes out?
That'll be a bigger trailer that will show more of just the turtles in front of Captain America.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, but who knows what we'll get.
It's just a few days away. I think it'd be kind of weird for them to put the teaser out and then the trailer out less than 2 weeks after.
It really would be. But, I mean...
But what'd you think about it?
And I tell people this, and they're like, oh, well, it's not as bad as I thought. I'm like, yes, it's not as bad as I thought. It's still bad. It's not what I would like to have seen coming from... Because, okay, as we all... Nickelodeon. That was the other word.
Was it?
Yeah, that's the other title card that pops in. First Paramount, then Nickelodeon, then Michael Bay.
Okay.
And this is why I don't like it, because Nickelodeon is doing this when they already have their Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series on there. This movie is giving the Turtles a completely different origin than their show. So people who are watching the show are going to be confused going into this movie, and that's bad on Nickelodeon's part, and that's bad on the writers' part.
Don't all interpretations of Ninja Turtles have a different origin?
Not all of them. There are some that keep with one origin, some would keep with another origin. This origin is relatively new, and when I was doing some more research on it, there was a 2011 series of comics from IDW that focused more on the way that these turtles are being created.
Isn't it Shredder and April O'Neil's father?
Yeah.
Work together and they create the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Or they just create the ooze that creates Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
One of the two.
One of those, and somehow Splinter is also created through this as well.
I don't really care. I'll be honest. I do not care what their origin is.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
Yeah.
They can do whatever. They can be from fucking space. I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as the movie's okay.
I'm hoping
I'm not so hardcore about Ninja Turtles that I'm gonna get butthurt over their origin.
And I don't mean to sound like that. I just it's okay. I'm more when it comes to when you have multiple properties coming out and people are thinking one thing. I think of it more of a general audience type of interpretation of the film, that the general audience who may be interested, who were just introduced to Ninja Turtles through the 2012 series, are now just going to be like, what's going on with this new series? But they're going to be like, whatever, it has Megan Fox. Even though I don't think that that's really how that would happen. But, it's got turtles, it's got explosions. We don't care about the origins. Just get to the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
And then, you see the terrible motion capture.
Is it terrible?
I don't know. I got kind of weirded out by their human lips.
All right.
And their fingernails.
Let's talk about the turtles.
Okay.
Let's talk about them turts.
Them turts?
Dem turts.
Dem turts. Let me hear your thoughts about them turts. I'll give you mine afterwards.
I thought that Leonardo looked badass. Yes. Flipping around and landing on the edge of the building and stuff. Yeah. I like the turtles are real big and they're just like superheroes. Because
they tower over April.
They're huge.
They are.
I fucking love it. I love how awesome they are. Like big. And they have like cool little armor things. And
that represents their personality.
Yeah, each one. I believe it's only like half a second shot, but there's like a real quick frame of Donatello the purple one.
Yes.
Who has, like, the gadgets on his
all
back.
Over his back, yeah.
His shell's covered in, like, the Predator laser gun or some shit. I don't know what that is, but that's what it looked like.
Yeah.
It looked like his little shoulder gun.
Yeah.
And Leonardo, he's got, like, the armor on the front of his... He's got, like, samurai armor on the front of his shell.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, they looked really cool.
They look cool, yes.
Until they showed the close-up of the turtles. When they show, at the end of the trailer, the little stinger at the end of Michelangelo, the orange one, right?
Mm-hmm.
He takes off his mask, and he cracks a joke about, don't be afraid, look, it's a mask.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it, it's a joke.
Yeah.
But the close-up of his face was a little on the autism side.
Yes.
Like, he looks like he could be autistic.
Yes. I think the worst thing was, for me, he looked like the Thing from Fantastic Four.
Oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Like, that, his
he had
face
some weird lips, but yeah, those lips were weird. And the teeth were weird.
And his fingernails, he had fingernails in a weird sense, like, they almost
the originals had fingernails, right?
Yeah, they did, but, like, his is... I don't know, I was examining him.
Yeah.
In complete. But it's like, I don't know, his hand freaked me out. Like, everything else was just like, if you look at it, like, okay, this was my thought when I first saw it, because, I mean, everybody's like, no, this isn't the exact image of the Turtles when that leaked photo happened. And this is literally the exact design of the Turtles, completely exact to the T. And I looked at it from afar and like, that is cool. But when you really look at them, I just don't like them. Because I feel like they're trying to push too much that they're mutants, in a way. And I mean, yeah, sure, we get it. I mean, fucking, they're mutant turtles. I understand that, but the face is just weird. It's like a upside down mushroom that's sort of elongated. I don't know. You got fucking chapped lips for some reason.
Have you seen some of the fan-made pictures of, like, what realistic Ninja Turtles would look like?
No.
Where their faces actually look like snapping turtles or something like that?
I have not seen that, no.
Some of those are kind of cool.
Yeah.
Not sure if it would actually translate well on film.
Right.
But there's something about those, like, realistic turtle faces that somehow work a little bit better than what we got. But, you know, whatever. It might be one of those things that, like, after, like, 10 minutes into the movie, you wouldn't care anymore.
And that's what I'm hoping. What I'm hoping.
But I really like the part where, like, who's the red one? Raphael.
Yeah.
Just goes shell first into that Humvee and just crushes it. Like,
I'm so glad people not only you, but everyone, when they talk about that scene, they'll say shell first. They don't say head first, they'll say, body first. They've been saying shell first, and I love it. I love that shit. Yeah. I soak that up like a fucking sponge. Continue. Anyways.
Yeah. You know what? It looks better than I thought it would.
Same here.
Turtles still look a little weird, but I'm hoping that after 15 minutes I wouldn't care anymore.
I'm hoping as well, but I also feel like this is going to do what I don't like about Transformers, that most people don't feel like they notice when it comes to it. Focus entirely too much on the human element.
I was actually going to ask, if you think that April O'Neil is going to be the main character of the movie, and the Turtles are just pretty things happening around her.
Yes, it's going to. There's no way it couldn't, because of the way that they've already talked about it.
I want Leonardo to be the main character. He's the blue one, right? Yeah. I want him to be the main character. He's the main turtle.
Exactly. I wanted to actually focus on Turtles. But as soon as I heard Michael Bay, I knew it's probably going to be a human problem, like all the Transformers.
I've mentioned this before. Every movie needs a human element.
They do.
One of the reasons I don't think Prometheus 2 is going to work is that, in theory, she's the only character left.
Yeah.
And a movie just about her wouldn't work.
No.
People that want a Metroid movie, with Samus being the only character in the movie, wouldn't work.
It wouldn't.
But you need to have a human element to it. Interactions between humans and things like that. April O'Neil needs to be important. She can't be swept under the rug.
Yeah, no.
But if she is the main character by a huge margin, to the point of Transformers, where Sam Wiki, is that his name? Sam Wiki?
Yeah.
Is like, it's just about him and Megan Fox running around doing things, and it just so happens that there are Transformers fighting around them.
Yeah.
I would be disappointed if that happened with the Turtles.
Who
are they going to fight? Who's the antagonist? Shredder's in it.
The Foot shows up. We think it's the Foot. We think, because there was when, of course, the leaked script happened. And apparently a lot of people who have read that leaked script and seen this trailer say, this trailer is completely different from what that leaked script was.
Okay.
So there is that. But the Foot, the Ninja Clan.
Yeah, I know that the Foot is Shredder's ninjas, which I feel like, I don't know how that works in a modern day realistic.
Did you see all the people with guns?
Yeah, it was like SWAT teams or something.
That's the Foot.
Oh.
Yep.
So am I to understand that, like, in this particular version of Ninja Turtles, Shredder is kind of like he owns, I don't know, it's almost like Oscorp. Did you get that feel of, like, Shredder is Norman Osborn?
Yes.
And he's got this science-y division that's always working on new things that he wants to use for his own personal power gain.
Yes.
And through that stuff, he either purposely or accidentally creates turtles.
Yes. In a weird
kind of like Norman Osborn in this new Amazing Spider-Man series, accidentally or purposely created Spider-Man. That's
the feel that I got from this.
Do you think Shredder is gonna, when the movie starts, does he already know about the turtles and keeping tabs on them?
I want to say yes, because of one simple thing. In the beginning of the trailer, you see I can't even think of the guy's name, but that guy who we all think, and he's actually said himself that he is Shredder. He's actually said himself that he is Shredder in this movie. We see him talking to Megan Fox's character. In the back, you see a sort of feudal Japan art.
Yeah.
Around that, you'll see a sort of person sitting on a throne of sense, and sort of watching over as, like, this army is, like, going in to, like, a war. What people have said that this is his idea of everything. We don't know how he got his armor and everything, because you'll see him walking up to the Shredder armor. That's our first glimpse of it. We don't know how he got his armor, but he is somehow looking at this sort of, he's sort of idolizing this sort of feudal Japan artwork, and that he wants to be king. He wants to be all-powerful. Emperor. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, that's what feudal Japan had.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I was saying king.
Close enough.
Thank you. But emperor, yes, he wants to be emperor. He's trying to make his pathway to that. Now, how this connects to him, no one knows.
Like, it did strike me as he's more of a political villain.
Yes.
Of, like, being very powerful in terms of money and politics and stuff like that, and that, like, over the years he's just been reaching out, getting closer and closer to, like, owning everything, so that when he wants to flip the switch on his master plan, he controls all the cops or something like that, like, because that's what they look like. They look like SWAT members or something like that.
That's his own personal army, is what we can gather. And there's, like, shots of them running through the sewer. They're obviously going to invade the Turtles' lair during this.
Now, how would you feel if they kind of did, like, a reverse Mandarin thing, where in Iron Man 3... Everybody knew, like, everybody knew that, what's his face? Trevor Slattery. He was saying, "Oh, I'm the Mandarin." You know, he's like, "Oh, this is the Mandarin." And then suddenly at the end, you find out there was no Mandarin. It was all a charade.
Yeah.
Like, what if the guy we know as Shredder, is putting on this whole "I'm Shredder," blah 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 kind of thing, but then you find out at the end he's not Shredder. Somebody else is Shredder. Yeah. Like, because he does, like, he's the political guy. He's the one pulling the strings of, like, owning everything and stuff like that. But he has a master. Yeah. Like, the master is Shredder. And he's the face. Like, he tells everybody he's Shredder.
Yeah.
So he gets all the focus points, while Shredder, the real Shredder, is actually just, like, controlling him.
Yeah.
That's what I hope happens.
That's what I kind of hope happens, actually, for this. That would actually work better for this movie than it would for Iron Man. But at the same time, I don't think it would, because it's Nickelodeon, and they're not that smart.
Wow.
But, I mean, there's always that possibility. Who knows?
I feel like, based on this trailer alone, I would see the movie.
Yeah.
But, we'll see where it goes.
I would see this movie, but I am still extremely skeptical on Shredder's origins and Splinter's origins, first and foremost.
They didn't even show him in the trailer.
They didn't, and I'm glad, because I would have been pissed if they did. Like, the way... Splinter has one of two options, and if they create a completely different option,
it's not going to work.
It's not going to work. He has to either be, and I can never remember his names, but he has to be Hirao Yoshi. He has to be him, or he has to be Hirao Yoshi's pet.
Okay.
If he's not, they've made a completely new origin of Shredder that we've never seen before. Or not Shredder, Splinter, that we've never seen before. And they kind of have to. And like Hirao Yoshi's pet would always watch Yoshi.
Yeah, I remember a couple episodes back, I like tried my best to think of what the origin was for Splinter, and it was the pet rat that watched him train and then learned how to be a samurai.
Exactly, and there are other iterations where he is Yoshi, and he just was turned into a rat and then all this other stuff. Now we're talking about a Caucasian, male. If this is more of an Oscorp type take on it, where they have this huge science division which is always pushing the boundaries of like super soldier serum kind of thing, trying to create the perfect soldier, and like maybe they either test it on a guy or the scientist himself tests it on himself or something like that and turns him into this rat-like creature. Would you be okay with that? I would be okay with that, kind of, but they can't use Yoshi. Because Yoshi is Japanese.
Well, why couldn't they have a Japanese scientist?
Because this isn't a Japanese person playing Splinter.
Oh, it's not?
It's not. Do you remember the small person from Seinfeld?
No.
There's a guy...
I remember Newman. Is it Newman?
No. It's some guy, his full name is Danny
Kramer? Kramer Splinter?
Kramer Splinter.
Jerry.
I'm going to try and oh, God. I'm going to try and look him up, but I can't think of his name. But he's basically a midget. He's a Caucasian midget who's playing Splinter.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
What the hell?
That's what I said from the very beginning. I'm like, how is nobody else...
Well, never mind.
Yeah, that's why...
That ruined mine. Because I was like, what if the scientist... they got an Asian guy named... What's his name?
Yoshi. And that's what I was hoping.
They got Yoshi to be the guinea pig.
Exactly.
Let's say... Oh my God, I'm going to paint this out right now.
Paint it, because I painted this in my mind. I'm ready.
Yoshi is one of the chiefs, or one of the captains or whatever.
He's for chief scientist or something.
Not for the scientist.
Oh, okay.
But for Shredder's foot security or whatever. So he's one of the high-ranking officers or whatever of his SWAT security or whatever.
Yes.
So he's really good at fighting and shit like that. That's why he's so ranked so high.
Yeah.
But he's one of the guinea pigs picked for the experiment for the ooze.
Yeah.
And the particular vial he gets or whatever turns him into the rat-like monster.
Yes.
And Shredder's okay, well, let's put him down and dissect him and find out why this failed or why it did it like this. And obviously he's not just gonna get put down like an animal. So he fights off the security and escapes to the sewers. And then later the turtles get down there or something, and that's why he raises the turtles, and that's why he's a rat. And so there you go. I mean, so that explains why he knows how to fight. That explains why he wants to help the turtles. And
better love story than Twilight. That's what I say. I'm trying to find Mutant Ninja Turtles. Okay, that's another thing that they actually did in the trailer for this that everybody was really surprised about. They actually called this Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. for the longest time.
People thought it was just going to be Ninja Turtles?
They only marketed it as Ninja Turtles. And so everybody was like, well, of course, they changed their Danny Woodburn.
Who's that?
This guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't know who we're looking at, but yeah, I'm looking at a picture of that man.
Just look up this guy. He's been in such amazing movies, such as Santa Buddies, Search for Santa Paws, Santa Paws 2, Mirror Mirror, Badass.
All right.
Yeah, let's just not talk about it. But, he's Master Splinter.
Wow.
And he did motion capture for it. So, Master Splinter is going to be so small compared to the Turtles.
I'm okay with the size.
I'm okay with the size.
That kind of gives them more of a Yoda feel.
Exactly.
Like the old Master Yoda.
And that's what
training
I'm
on the back of
Luke
Skywalker or something like
there's
that.
that.
I mean, I guess I'm okay with that, but I know that guy's voice though.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that voice coming out of Splinter.
Right. And they did other little homages to different parts.
You did it again.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Keep going.
But anyways, they did other little things to the thing. Like Will Arnett's character, he plays the cameraman to April O'Neil. That's actually not a real character.
What's the name of the guy with the hockey mask?
Oh, Casey Jones. He's not. We don't know if he's in it yet.
Okay, I'm okay with him not being in it.
Yeah, sources are pointing that he's not going to be in it.
He'll probably show up for a sequel.
At one point, actually, it was going to be reversed. Casey Jones was going to be in this, and April O'Neil would be in the second. But now it's switched. Or they're both in the same one. No one knows. From what I understood, no one knows. So there's that. How I feel about it, I'll watch it. I'll watch this movie, but I'm not.
Help me out here because I'm having trouble remember.
No problem.
Did April O'Neil in every iteration of her, did she have orange hair? Did she have red hair?
I want to say yes, but I can't remember correctly.
Does she in the Nickelodeon show?
Yes, she does.
Because I want to say she's always been a redhead, and Megan Fox is brown.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
I
don't really care too much.
I don't care too much about her hair either.
It's no effort given.
I just don't. I'm not okay with Megan Fox being April O'Neil.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
That's just me. But whatever. Like I said, I'm still going to give it a chance. The trailer looked a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
It did look better than I thought.
But that doesn't excuse much.
The turtles still look a little weird up close.
Yeah.
And, we'll see what happens.
I'll give it a watch in theaters when it comes out. I will.
I am really worried about that Nickelodeon thing now.
I am.
I didn't realize that they were... Like, how much say do you think they have over, like,
the movie?
The context, or, like, the content of the movie?
Like, it's their movie. They funded the money into this.
Like, I'm not saying I don't want, like, a fucking Dark Knight version of...
Yeah.
I don't want dark, gritty
I don't
Turtles, but, I'm hoping it's not all... Wow, pizza, calabunga, shelltastic.
It's going to be. Like, that's the bad part. Like,
I'm sure some people really want that, but...
Yeah, it's becoming that weird thing to where I think we're watching history repeat itself when it comes to Nickelodeon. In the sense of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, no.
I mean, because remember when it first came out, we were like, well, it didn't turn out as bad as it was going to be. We thought it was going to be because
the trailer.
The trailer.
Yeah, the trailer looked.
And we were like,
decent.
wow, it's not going to be bad.
Yeah, it's actually the exact same. Where like back then, everybody thought it was really cool, except for the races chosen to play characters. Like, oh my god, they got white kids to play the Eskimos, and they got etc. But now it's everybody bitching about the way the turtles' faces look.
Yeah, and and for me, it's bitching about Master Splinter, but that's a whole nother story. I mean, really, Ninja Turtles, and if somebody can instantly correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my interpretation of like the material. So it's always been based in like that Japanese origin of everything. Like it's just, I mean, of course the Turtles are in New York, but they've always had that sort of connection. Yeah. In a sense. And so, I mean, I'm okay with them trying something new. I'm perfectly fine. I'm not going to say that I don't like new iterations of different things. But this is just Nickelodeon putting their hand in it too much.
Final question.
And
then we'll move on to the next story.
Yeah.
Do you think Nick Fury is going to show up and ask the Turtles if they want to join the Avengers?
I think we have a better chance of fucking Bill Murray coming in and said, look, we have some ghosts in New York we need to take care of. And this actually just is a spin-off until Ghostbusters 3.
I think the Ninja Turtles have a better chance of showing up in Age of Ultron than Spider-Man.
Yes.
And with that,
let's
move along.
Actually, are you going to watch it?
I'm probably. Based on that trailer alone, if the movie came out this weekend, I would probably watch it.
Cool. I feel the same.
Okay.
All right, let's move along.
What's next?
Well,
you got the sheet, not me.
Yeah. Well, since you mentioned dark and edgy,
did I?
Well,
the Batman.
The Batman joke. Yeah. So how about that Sonic announcement?
Yeah, you know more about this than I do, so you take the reins.
So it was said that there's a possible Sonic movie coming out that is going to be dark and edgy.
That is in quotations.
Yes.
That's not even shit we made up.
No, it is in quotations.
That's not paraphrasing or anything.
Oh no.
They said they want a Sonic movie to be dark and edgy.
And you know what? The best part about it? Live action CGI mix.
Like Space Jam?
Except Smurfs.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess that would be a more modern version.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
But yeah. But not in the sense that in the sense that I feel like this is going to go in the route of Sonic X, but try to be more mature Sonic X. So like the original Sonic X. Instead of the 4Kids TV.
Yeah, 4Kids version.
Yeah. Yep.
Feature film? Like theatrical?
Theatrical. Gonna be in theaters all over.
Who is making it?
Columbia Pictures. That's all we know.
Alright.
At one point, Sony had their hand in it. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I just gonna have to see a trailer. I'm not getting excited. I'm not going to. Because I have a feeling what could possibly happen.
Keep going.
But I don't want it. I don't want it.
What do you think's gonna happen?
That we're gonna get, some fucking bullshit ass fucking looking hedgehog running around with this
do you think it's gonna be a
Danny DeVito looking motherfucker of an Eggman.
I was gonna ask, it's pretty obvious that it's gonna be Sonic's world. Somehow they get sucked from Sonic's world onto Earth.
Yeah.
Do you think that Eggman is going to be a human being on Earth?
Mm.
They get to Earth and then they meet Dr. Robotnik, who is a real human who wants to capture or kill or whatever.
Yeah.
Or do you think Eggman is going to be from his world and get pulled in and we're going to have a CGI Eggman running around? Standing next to real people.
If fucking Neil Patrick Harris just comes in, it's going to be like the fucking Muppets when it comes to star-studded cast of people just standing around.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Can I just say what I wanted?
Sure.
What I've always wanted from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be Freedom Fighters.
I don't know what you mean by that.
There was Sonic the Hedgehog, the Saturday morning cartoon. No, was it? Well, they call it. I can't remember if it's called SatM or if it's called Freedom Fighters in the fandom. Anyways,
I don't know.
I can't remember. But basically, there was a point when Sonic was in this. So they were all in this sort of dystopian future where Eggman is taking over just basically everything, turning everyone into robots and all this other stuff. And Sonic is part of a group
capturing little animals. and hiding them in boxes.
Hide them in boxes and wait for him to punch the boxes and let him go. No, like more in the sense of like turning everyone into robots kind of thing. And Sonic was part of this group of freedom fighters that were trying to, rid the land of Robotnik and everything. It would have been really cool to see on screen.
What if this dark and edgy Sonic, which, P.S., get your tetanus shot before you see this movie.
Whoa, Sonic, back away from that edge.
Don't cut yourself on those edges.
Yeah, it's too edgy. Fight me.
Yeah. What if it is The Matrix?
Oh, God.
Think of The Matrix.
Oh, my God.
Except Eggman is the reason behind it, and add a hedgehog to it instead of Neo.
Is Eggman fucking Mr. Anderson, Agent Smith?
Yeah. So what do you think about that? That's the dark, edgy Sonic that they want. They just want The Matrix with Sonic and Eggman.
I don't want it. I'm backing away from that edge.
That's not an edge I want to cut myself on.
No, not at all. But, I mean...
in the past, 5 years, I've not seen the term edgy used as a good thing. I've only seen the word edgy used to insult things or people on the internet.
Yep.
So for them to come out and be like, we want to make an edgy Sonic, I just picture, a 16-year-old kid, in school, smoking cigarettes in the bathroom, being like, ugh, I love atheists.
Tip fedora, leave.
Tip fedora. Oh my god.
My lady. God.
Sonic is just going to be a fat neckbeard with a fedora.
Smoking cigarettes in the bathroom while the teacher Knuckles is saying, get to class. Quit cutting it. He's going to have the normal bully Shadow coming in.
He's gonna see Amy and be like, 9 out of 10 wouldn't bang.
He always has his trusty friend Tails.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
That should be a movie.
Right? It's literally the Breakfast Club. But I like the Breakfast Club.
Oh, man. All right.
Anyways.
Should we move along? Obviously, it's too early it's too early to say anything. Really.
It really is. It's just this literally is almost rumor mill kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm down with a live-action Sonic.
I am too.
I think out of all the different things that you could turn into a live-action movie, I honestly think Sonic might be the hardest thing.
It would be, yes. Because, it would be easy and hard at the same time. Easy in the sense of getting people on board with it. Because of all the different, the slow moving into Sonic and human elements. More so than it was in the past.
They better get Crush 40 to come in for the music.
You don't understand. You don't understand. If they play fucking Live and Learn at the end of that fucking movie, I am done. I could die in that
Live and learn, hanging on the edge of tomorrow. Live and learn.
Oh my god. Oh, Jesus.
Open your heart.
I'm mad that we both thought about this song at the same time. We started at the exact same time without looking at each other. Oh my god. And then somehow they're going to incorporate Sonic 06, His World. I mean, it wasn't a bad song.
Better instrumental. Yeah.
In his world, where I belong.
Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Heroes.
Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom.
Oh my god, let's not even talk about that.
We could do this for the next 10 minutes, so let's not.
Yeah, it's not. But, there's that. Oh, I forgot, because that show's coming out in the fall.
Yeah.
And then they're also talking about doing a live-action movie of that. Not live-action, but they're doing a CGI movie complete. That's gonna be weird.
Yeah.
That's too many properties of one.
Too many different interpretations of Sonic coming out at once.
Yeah. And that's my problem with it.
Which one's going to suck the most? The games.
Yeah. Fingers crossed for Sonic Boom, though. That has the potential.
The Skrillex game.
Skrillex. Fucking Knuckles is basically Skrillex in that game.
Bangarang!
Oh, let's move on.
Right, what's next?
What's next? Hercules.
Oh yeah, the Hercules trailer.
Yeah.
Hercules, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Looks better than what they recently put out for Hercules.
Oh yeah, there was a recent Hercules movie that came out not too long ago.
That was
Legend of Hercules.
Mm-hmm. That was the problem. They actually had because if I remember correctly, they were both in development. The Rock Hercules, I think, went into production first, and then the Legend of Hercules. Well, that other Hercules movie at that time, they were both called Hercules, and there was a big fight about the name and all that such. And then the other one, because the one that The Rock is in, that studio owns Hercules in a sense, so they were able to keep that. And the other one was sort of just like had to change its name to Legend of Hercules and all that. It couldn't put itself to that. But
what'd you think?
I watched after watching the trailer. I thought, you know what, this could be an interesting movie.
You know, see, I thought even when they first announced it, I figured it was just going to be another like Wrath of the Titans type movie of just like
monster after monster,
huge CGI monsters and just bad actors and bad story and piss Sky.
Yeah,
there was no sign of pissy Sky in this trailer,
which always means there's hope.
There's hope because this is a movie set in ancient like Greek mythology kind of stuff where the sky is blue.
Yeah.
So I've never seen that before. Every single movie I've ever seen about Greek mythology, the sky is this pissy yellow-orange color.
And
it just so happens that those movies suck dick. So I'm wondering if that's the correlation.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's this year, so...
I am Hercules. Heracles.
Heracles.
What you think?
I like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. I think he's a fun person.
He's alright.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I care enough about like Heracles to
go
see a movie about it.
I might.
That's a DVD thing.
It would take. I'm waiting for another trailer because I thought this trailer was actually a good trailer. It wasn't a bad trailer in the sense of Sin City, a Dame to Kill For, but you know.
I'm sorry. I actually just don't have a lot to say about this.
I don't either.
This is something that I never kept up with during like the pre-production and production and filming and stuff.
Me either.
Like I would always skip these articles because I had no interest in it. Yeah. All I knew about it was that A, The Rock was in it, and B, something about this movie having the largest set built for a movie.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, something
ever
with that.
or
not really
recently.
I think it's more recently,
or maybe just by that distributor. I don't know. Or maybe it was just The Rock himself has never seen a. Yeah. I don't know, something
Who
about
knows? Because you know The Rock, he likes to Instagram it.
Something about there being a set put together for this movie that was like the largest set ever for some category.
Yeah.
Either ever made in a movie or ever made in a Rock movie.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
probably the latter. Whoa.
Low blow?
Yeah, a little.
Well, let's move on, because I don't really have
I don't know. We don't have much to say about The Rock.
Yeah.
Hercules.
Hercules.
What's that? Barbershop 3.
Well, let's just say no.
Nope. All right. Prometheus 2.
Called it. We both called it.
Yeah, we called that shit.
I mean, it was...
Not that surprising.
It's not.
We had a 50% chance.
Yeah, it was either fucking Prometheus 2 or Blade Runner.
Yeah. What have they said about Prometheus 2? Have they said anything, details?
There was a rumor that we're going to see multiple Michael Fassbenders.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which, in a way, makes sense because there would be more than one version of him.
Yeah. But it's like, how does he get wherever they're going?
Yeah.
Does she incorporate an army and head back to LV...
Oh my god.
Gosh, I can't remember the planet.
I don't know.
424? 426?
I don't know, dude.
Damn, I can't remember.
Get off my case.
I'm sorry. Sorry, I just want you to buy this Nick Fury. I've been standing here talking to you about movies so you can buy Nick Fury. Anyways.
Yeah. The first movie ended with her flying to that planet to bomb them with their own black goo.
Yep.
So, How does she meet other people? It'd be a pretty strange coincidence if she just happened to be drifting in space and happens to come across another ship full of human or...
Because it's like that was the only mission going out there. So why would this other set of humans be out there?
It'd be like... Honestly, that's probably what I would do, just because that's really the only way you can incorporate more people into the story.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty strange coincidence that they just happen to... Space is pretty fucking big. I don't know if you know about space, but it's pretty fucking big.
If you don't know how fucking big space is, go watch Cosmos. That will give you a small little idea.
Especially when you're talking
research.
Especially when you're talking about fictional space.
Shit.
Real space is already infinite.
Right.
Fictional space is more than that. So,
right, because we don't fucking know, so we
just you can just make anything up.
Right? Look at fucking Men in Black.
It'd be pretty crazy for two ships to accidentally bump into each other out in the middle of nowhere.
Like, hey man, what you doing? I'm nothing, I'm just chilling, going to the fucking Holiday Inn in space.
And bombing it with black goo.
Damn engineers.
So... we better get some straight up aliens.
Yep.
No holds barred. Better get some fucking aliens.
I want to see Elizabeth turn into fucking Ripley. But not really.
The real Ripley? Or become like Ripley?
Like Ripley, in a sense. Not the real Ripley.
Her character was at least tolerable in that movie.
It was.
She was at least tolerable, and she had the best scene in that movie of tearing the alien out of her.
That was a good scene.
That was the best part of that movie.
It really was.
So here's to hoping that if she carries on and becomes a Ripley-like character, that it's all right.
I'm just wondering. I hope that with Prometheus 2, they somehow tie it into Alien.
Yeah,
they won't. But
I'm kind of bummed out that because these Prometheus movies are happening, that we're not getting Alien movies.
Exactly.
I want another Alien movie. I just want another fucking, we came across some eggs in space.
Yeah.
Your general thriller horror of the alien thing.
Because we have the technology to make it amazing.
That's what I want.
Yeah.
I don't need a crazy theological,
preachy movie.
Preachy, inspirational. I don't need anything to make me think about my purpose as a human being or anything.
Exactly.
I just want to watch some fucking aliens.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, I'm never going to be able to get that movie because they're going to keep making Prometheus movies, which are going to be these big blue preachy. Yeah. Who created us? What's our purpose in life?
Environment. Please help us. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're our only hope. Engineers, where are you? You're our only hope. Whatever. I just don't.
Global warming. Oh no.
Oh, no. What's they going to focus on this? Because it's literally what they're doing with Avatar movies. Focusing on a new fucking environmental problem.
Did you like Alien? Did you like An Inconvenient Truth? Well, then you're gonna love
this.
Are you an atheist-loving, fedora-tipping motherfucker?
If not, well, you're gonna be. Because coming soon, Prometheus.
3 edgy, 5 me.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Prometheus 2.
We call it
March 2016. Prepare your anus. Because they're coming in dry. And with that
What's next?
Days of Future Past trailer.
Yeah, another Days of Future Past trailer, which looked better than the first one.
It sure
and was
did.
better edited.
Yep. But, man, I'll tell you what. We saw a little glimpse of what's giving me the fucking heebie-jeebies of this movie. Not really heebie-jeebies, but I just really can't stand it because it reminds me, you have this huge budget to actually make a good movie, but you can't even afford a decent hairstylist.
Yeah. Yep.
That wig. That Quicksilver wig. Obviously somebody did it pretty quick. Sorry.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't help it.
My girlfriend watched this trailer with me, and she says, after it's over, this timeline makes no fucking sense. And you know what? I think she hit the nail on the head with that one.
Mm-hmm.
This timeline doesn't make any sense.
Not at all.
So, X-Men 1 took place in the year 2000.
Mm-hmm.
X2 took place like only 2 years after that. Those make sense. Everything's good. They're actually decent movies, too. Mm-hmm. So everything's nice in the world of X-Men right now. Then we get X-Men 3, which takes place in the year 2005, I think.
Yeah.
And, first of all, it was a shitty movie. It was bad. Not the worst of the X-Men movies, but not good. And they kill off... they do the Phoenix thing, they kill off Jean Grey, and they kill off Xavier, and they kill off Cyclops. And I think a whole bunch of other characters.
Yep.
And then we get Origins. Wolverine Origins. Which, that's the worst of the X-Men movies.
Yep.
By and far. And that takes place... It's kind of scattered. The first half of the movie kind of jumps around a bit.
Yeah.
But the bulk of the movie takes place in the 80s. Now, here's where we're going to start getting problems. So that takes place in the early 80s, when he gets the medal, and the rest of the movie takes place.
Yeah.
Cyclops is like a 16-year-old kid in that movie. And if that took place in, like, the mid-80s, let's say it takes place in 85.
Right.
That would put him at about 36, 35, 36 in the original movie.
Yeah.
Which, maybe you could try to get away with that, but he's a little young, and he kind of strikes me as more of a, I don't know, like, late 20s, something like that. And, let's see, where do I go? There's and then you think about, what's his face? Xavier was walking at the end of that movie. Patrick Stewart was walking, and that takes place in the 80s. And then we got, what's it called? What was the last one called?
First Class.
First Class, which was back to being a decent movie. Like, after 2 shitty ones, we got another good one. That took place in the year 62? 63?
Something like that.
Something in the 60s? Yeah. It's the Cold War era.
Something.
And here's where we get all the problems.
Here's where it begins.
Because at the end of that takes place in the 60s, and in the end of that movie, he gets crippled.
Yeah.
So why is he walking in Wolverine? And Emma Frost is a woman, a full-grown woman in the 60s. Why is she a 13-year-old kid in Wolverine Origins, which takes place in the 80s? And Beast, in that movie, he becomes blue, furry, cat-like Beast.
Yeah.
But in the Days of Futures Past trailer, when they go back in time,
he's not.
I had no idea what the fuck is happening in this trailer because.
Well, I know that they said that X-Men Origins Wolverine does not count within this timeline.
I've heard that. I've heard that they're completely disregarding Origins Wolverine from the existence in the universe.
Yeah, but it's still...
which would clear up a lot of problems. But
it just doesn't.
They're showing clips of them going back in time, or they send Wolverine back in time. They send his consciousness back, which is kind of cool. Yeah. But how far back do they go? Because in some parts of that movie, young Xavier from the 60s is walking.
Yeah.
So that implies that he goes back before that movie takes place.
Yeah.
Or before the end of the movie. And Beast is still human. Yeah. He's not blue anymore. So that implies that they're sending Wolverine back before that movie takes place. Or, maybe during the part where Magneto and Xavier are recruiting all the mutants. Like, in the movie they see Wolverine in the bar, and he's like, fuck off. If they send his conscious back to that moment, and instead he turns around, grabs him by the collar, and says, "The robots are coming!" So I guess that's what's gonna happen.
Well, I hope so. Because that would be hilarious. The robots.
But, like, I can't tell.
Skynet.
It looks like they're breaking Magneto out of jail in that movie.
I gave up, honestly.
I can't fucking... And then other shots of the movie show 60s Xavier in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
So, does he accidentally get crippled again? Which, I swear to God, everybody's gonna laugh at. Did you see
First Class?
First Class with me?
I did not, no.
It might have been one of our friends that saw it with me. But I remember watching First Class, and Xavier gets hit with the bullet in the spine, and he does the line like, "I can't feel my legs. I can't feel my legs." And I was the only person in the theater that wasn't laughing hysterically. Everybody in our theater was laughing maniacally at Xavier getting crippled. Wow. And I'm just like, it is a little cheesy, but I don't know. I don't see what's funny about it. But, like, if they send Wolverine back before he gets crippled, and he gets crippled again in a different way, everybody's going to erupt. Everybody's going to be laughing. You? I mean, I think it might be more of a, put my head down, like, I can't believe this is happening. But, like, I can see why it'd be a little funny, I guess. But like, the poor guy can't catch a break, except for his spine. Woo!
That was...
But I don't know what's happening. And it's too hard to tell, but if they send Wolverine back in time, it's hard to tell if Wolverine has his adamantium skeleton. Because they're sending him back to the 60s. So, is that if they're disregarding Origins Wolverine, does he have the adamantium yet? Has he been kidnapped and experimented on? We don't know. I tried pausing it in the trailer to see if Wolverine had adamantium claws or not, but it's impossible to tell by pausing the trailer. If he has the adamantium skeleton in the 60s, that is going to be weird. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I can honestly say I would only see it if other people say that was the best X-Men movie ever.
Yeah.
And I doubt that anybody's going to hear those words from anyone about this movie. But if that was the case, and I heard it from multiple people, I would consider seeing it.
Yep. I don't know.
Yeah.
I gotta get good reviews, that's all I can say.
Exactly, yeah. That's all, really.
So I think that kind of wraps up our story pool.
Yeah.
Putting us at, what, an hour 7?
That's
so
we
might actually make it through this under 2 hours.
Whoa, man.
What was out recently?
Noah.
Which has been advertised like crazy. I don't know if you've noticed.
I have.
At work, we got the big screen TV right above the staircase.
Oh my gosh, I don't even want to know how many times
you
got that.
It's just like every single commercial break has a trailer for Noah. And they're watching Good Morning America and stuff like that, and it's just huge segments about Noah, and
yeah.
I'm not interested in watching it.
I'm not either.
But it looked to me, from what I saw passing by the TV, that they're really taking some liberties.
Yeah.
And I can't tell exactly, but it looks like Noah's fighting an army of people or something, like a bunch of
there's a
soldiers
war going on, and I don't know. It's so far it holds a 76
on Rotten Tomatoes.
49% of users actually like it. 76.
Well, that's the type I would not base the score on fan how would I say, moviegoers, Rotten Tomatoes has that critics review, the critic score, and then the just regular users. I would not base my opinion on users because of the, sorry, I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
Atheist loving, fedora tipping, neckbeards. Like, you know what? Everybody's entitled to their own personal belief. I'm not gonna share mine.
Yeah.
But the Noah story is a biblical story, and I think just because of that, it just gets instant hate.
Yep.
And it's just like...
And it's strange because it's from both sides, too, at the same time, in a weird way. It's such a weird...
Immediately panned by a lot of people just because it's a biblical story, and everybody just says, I don't need God movies. I don't need these biblical stories being shoved down my throats. All of my throats.
It's dumb. All of my throats. It's dumb, the way that happens. And it's also very hypocritical to many people.
In some ways, I feel a little bad for any movie that is based on a biblical story, just because it's immediately going to get so much hate from all these, like, you know,
and it's never really from respectable points of the movie at all. It's always just because, and yeah.
And then at the same time, you're right. A lot of those movies get some hate from the Christian point of view, from saying like that's not how it happened.
Yeah.
Like Noah didn't fight an army of 300 soldiers. You know.
It's just
I don't know.
Like
I understand taking liberties with these movies because you got to sell a movie.
Exactly.
I understand changing the story a little bit, but I am not. I'm forgiving of that. I am not forgiving of immediately hating the movie just because of it being a biblical story.
Exactly.
Like, at least see the movie and then say it's shitty, you know, which a lot of them are. It's tough to get a big budget movie, you know. I think the last time we had one was, like, Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, that's what I was actually going to say. I mean, there have been two so far, Son of God and now Noah, this year. I don't know if we have any others coming out. Not this year specifically, but for the next couple of years. But you can sort of see
I saw a trailer that I was going to bring up many episodes ago that I forgot about. There was a trailer for a movie, I think it was a Disney movie. I saw it before seeing the Lego thing. And it was a live-action movie about this kid who's like 5 or 6 years old who dies. And in the beginning of the movie, he dies. And the doctors managed to bring him back. Like, you know, he was only dead for like 30 seconds or something.
Okay.
But the movie is about this kid. He went to heaven. And now he's back. And he's trying to tell everybody about it. And he's like, oh, I met Grandpa. I met Great-Grandpa, blah, blah, blah. And like, the kid starts sharing the word of God with everybody. And that's the type of movie it is. And it's about him, like, he went to heaven. And now he's back, and he's telling people about heaven and stuff like that. And I was watching that movie, the trailer, and I thought, I feel bad for them. Because this movie's going to get so much shit.
It is.
Just because of the content.
Yep.
So it's crazy that you can have a movie about porn stars, like
16-year-old kids.
Machete-wielding porn stars that, fight robots and Nazis and stuff like that. Like, you can have that kind of movie, nobody bats an eye. Yeah. People say, like, oh, well, it's a shitty movie, but nobody bats an eye about it.
Yeah.
But you do a movie about a kid who went to heaven and came back, like, everybody's gonna be like, oh, I'm tired of these movies being in my movie theater, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where you were going with that line, because I thought you were going to pull the Joker line there. And everybody loses their minds.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I should have.
I really was. I was waiting for it. I braced myself, and then I had to unbrace. It's awful. Oh, is anything else we can say with that?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's a movie. It's out.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it. I honestly don't have a lot of interest in seeing it.
Me either.
But it got a better score than I thought it would.
It did. I actually
so maybe it's not actually bad.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Did anything else come out?
Yeah, I just pulled it up. Sabotage. That is Arnold Schwarzenegger's latest action flick. A lot of people. It's got 22 on Rotten Tomatoes. But here's the funny thing about this movie. They are saying it's one of Arnold's better movies to come out in recent years.
Yeah.
But he's not the reason why it's better.
Alright.
They said that he's actually the weakest link of the cast because the rest of the cast is actually like spot on great in their roles.
Cool.
And they say it's done by
we forgot to mention this, but Arnold Schwarzenegger is now confirmed to be in the next Terminator.
Oh yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Is it a reboot?
It's okay. Let me explain this because
we're gonna get Days of Futures Past in here with our Terminator movies, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they are. It's a complete standalone trilogy. This is going to be a trilogy. This is going to be the first movie of a trilogy coming out. Arnold is in this in his Terminator outfit and everything. They're going to explain so far what we've understood and learned from everything that has been said. They are explaining Arnold's age of his Terminator through that. I mean, they say on the outside it's human flesh. It's going to age and everything else just like regular human flesh. And of course, as it gets battle worn, like they've also explained in past Terminators movies, that the body will decay and everything. Mm-hmm. So they're basing his age on that.
Okay, that's the easiest way to explain why he's old.
Yes.
But
yeah.
Why the fuck would they make that? Why would they do that though? Like, why would the robots? Why would Skynet build robots to decay and like stuff like that?
It's because of
so they blend in easier or something.
It's because it's so that way that they blend in as that they appear human on the outside.
Okay.
You can't see their inside.
All right, I guess I could buy that then.
Like that's how they explain it,
all
and
right.
I'm like, you know what, I can be okay with that. Now they're going to be revisiting 1 and 2 through scenes throughout this entire film. Not the entire film, but a good portion of it, because they're going to be changing how things happen.
Are they going to send another robot or another person back in time to change the events of 1 and 2?
In a way, yes. You'll see scenes of 1 and 2 in this movie, but they'll be played out differently towards the end.
Interesting.
That's what I said as well. So, like, this is really trying to separate itself from that universe by the actions of this movie, and
to start a brand new thing.
To start two more.
Seems like that's what Days of Futures Past wants to do.
Yeah,
is to send Wolverine back to change the movies to set a new course of X-Men movies that have nothing to do with the old ones, and hopefully are not shitty.
But the thing is, from what I've also understood, is that you will see the exact scenes from the original 2 movies restored in this.
Okay.
And then played out differently.
Alright.
And so I'm like, I'm very, like, because of that, I'm extremely interested in how they're doing this movie.
I'd be down with seeing how that would turn out.
And, like, the same dialogue, the same people, and then things will happen differently. This is capturing me. Like, this trilogy, this Terminator trilogy, is literally capturing me. Not from anything else, not from Arnold, but just from the cast itself. Like, the other cast. I can't remember, like, all the other people that are actually going to be in it, but they've announced it. They've mentioned that the
J. Jonah Jameson, that guy.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons, he's going to be in it. He plays the detective, I think from the first movie. He's part of, like, these changes.
All right.
Cool. And you'll see his character develop differently. You'll see another character, character's son from the events of, like, Terminator 2 play out differently.
I would be correct in assuming that when they go back in time and revisit the original movies, that is going to take place in the 80s.
Yes.
Right? They're not going to try and modernize it.
No, they're not trying to modernize it.
Because I think one of my biggest fears was that if they ever tried to reboot it, that they would modernize it so that when they send the Terminator back, or when they send what's his face, John
Connor.
John Connor was not the one that went back. No. He sent his dad.
Oh,
back. Kyle Reese.
Kyle Reese. There we are.
That they would be going back to the year like 2014, 2015, where like it's the exact same story, but it takes place in modern times, and I felt like it would lose some of its charm, I guess.
And that's the problem with RoboCop recently. because it's so modernized with what we have today, and that it tries to tackle our sort of technological fears of today, of drones and everything. And that's what really just... Well, there's one of many things that made that movie just awful. But, I mean, well, yeah. But, you know, I'm hoping. It's in my higher hope of this movie being great. Or at least decent enough for a reason to be... What
did you think about the last Terminator movie, Salvation?
I'm always going to be on the fence of that movie.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
sometimes I like it, like a guilty pleasure, but
other times.
But then, like when I start to watch it, I'm like, wow,
yeah, that
part is worse than I remember.
Yeah, it's such
I don't like Christian Bale as John Connor. I don't like it.
The funniest thing about that movie is like the beginning. When they're in the desert, or, you know, they're in that compound or whatever, and he gets in the helicopter and flies away. That entire one sequence scene of him getting shot down and whatever, and then crashes, and he's on the radio, and he's like, how many survivors? 1!
Yeah.
Who are you? John Connor! Just like, oh my god. Christian, I understand that you're still coming off of Batman, but you need to calm it down. But, you know, whatever.
Like, I like parts of it, but I see the giant like Optimus Prime sized robots, or like bigger than him. Like you got those huge mechs walking around shooting cannon like guns and stuff like that. I'm like, fucking send one of those back in time, dude.
Yeah.
Send one of those guys back to kill Sarah Connor. Movie. Yeah. It would have been done.
Exactly. You're good. But no, that's one of the many things.
I guess realistically that would have fucked up time though, because sending back an Arnold Schwarzenegger robot, it would have been subtle. You could have killed her, and everything else would have happened the way it should have.
Yeah.
But sending one of those back in time probably would have fucked up everything.
Yeah. For
the robots. I don't know.
Who knows? But
I think if you try to put too much stock into the time travel...
Oh, gosh, yeah.
The time travel story of Terminator.
You just get confused.
If you send a robot back in time to kill Sarah Connor, that would mean that Skynet wouldn't happen. Like, the robots wouldn't exist. Like, why would you want to do that? Right? Am I imagining that correctly?
And I
think you should never try to understand a movie with time travel.
No. It's hard for me to keep up with Terminator, honestly. And it's especially to just remember why this is all happening in the first place. Because, I mean, at one point they want to kill Sarah Connor, at the other point they want to protect John Connor, and then protect this, and then kill that. I can't remember it all.
Skynet sends the first Terminator back in the original to kill Sarah Connor, because her son is going to lead the revolution years to come, which is finally starting to actually fight back the robots and actually kind of come out on top. So, like, eventually, the human rebels are starting to win the war against the robots. And the robot Skynet's like, shit, we'll send back a robot to kill John Connor so he never exists. And at the same time, John Connor knows about this, and so he sends Kyle Reese back in time to protect his mom. And that's how John Connor is born. The second movie, John Connor sends back his own Terminator to protect himself. Because Skynet's like, well, we fucked up the first time. Let's send back another robot to try, a better robot to try again. And it's the old model versus the new model. And then third one is pretty much the exact same plot, only done worse.
Because they were grabbing Sarah Connor's coffin that was filled with guns from that crematorium.
I always remember that.
That's like the biggest thing you can remember. And then, of course, like we have to get my girlfriend's father kind of thing. Protect him. And then they go and battle, like try to battle Skynet head on. And they realize everything that we've tried to do didn't matter because it was going to happen anyways.
I honestly think Terminator 3 is the biggest waste of the series. Like,
it was.
I don't know. You could argue which one's worse, Terminator 3 or Salvation.
3.
But I think Salvation at least had more purpose than.
Well, I mean, at that point, you were actually seeing, in a sense, the battles.
Yeah,
and that was
you could skip number 3 and go right into Salvation.
Yeah,
and not be missing anything, because number 3 is the same exact plot as number 2.
Yeah.
Only the actors are older.
Yeah.
And it's just done worse.
Yeah. You find out that the girl that's with him, you find out that John Connor died, and that this Terminator sent back was sent by his wife, which happens to be the girl that they grabbed. Randomly met up with. Yeah. You know, I mean, there's that. I mean, but even then, you don't even give a shit. But overall, I'm actually really I'm interested. I want to know more about Terminator Genisys. That's the title.
I'm trying so hard to get Manuela to watch the fucking Terminator movies, and she doesn't want to.
Well,
and it breaks my heart.
Quit it. You tell her to quit it.
It hurts inside.
Inside, I gotta back away from the edge. I don't know where I was going. I was going with
that. Yeah. Hey, we're still on what came out recently.
Yeah.
What's coming out soon? I'll tell you what the fuck is coming out soon. Captain America, Winter Soldier. It's happening.
That's next week.
That is coming out in 5 days from now.
Let's see.
And if you're listening to this episode tomorrow, 4 days from now.
If you're listening to the episode whenever you're able to, Captain America.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier. So psyched. Do you want to come watch it with us? Because we're gonna see it. You're working Friday night.
Yeah.
God damn it, Jeffrey.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I assume you're not going to see it Thursday night at midnight.
I was thinking about it. Kim asked if we could watch it.
Well,
sure why not. So I might.
See, because then my birthday is the very next day, and I expect you to be there.
Yeah.
So, if you haven't seen Captain America by Saturday, you need to go early.
Yeah. Like,
drive out to Asheville, or wherever, see the movie, then come to my birthday party.
Okay.
So that we can talk about it.
Yeah, for this.
Because I know nobody else is going to see it.
No, yeah. But yeah, so I plan on seeing it. It's just, we'll just have to figure out when. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Winter Soldier, I
was looking through to see if there's anything.
Anything else? Nothing. Nothing wants to compete with Winter Soldier.
I mean, there's like random one-off indie films.
Yeah,
so that's it. Yeah.
No, there's no studio that wanted to compete going up against Captain America that same weekend.
I mean, there's another Scarlett Johansson movie that comes out that same day. That's called Under the Skin.
I don't know.
An alien in human form is on a journey through Scotland.
Okay.
Yep.
Weird.
Yep. That's all there is. But yeah, that really, honestly, it really does wrap up.
Yeah. Do you have any soapbox?
We forgot to talk about.
Yeah. Normally we ask each other what our soapboxes are before we start recording. But
yeah. I don't have a soapbox, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
Here's my soapbox.
Yep.
My birthday party that's going to be this upcoming weekend. It's movie related.
Okay.
I'm throwing a Tron themed birthday party.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I read that.
It's going to be badass, dude.
That
I'm going to decorate the house. So we're going to put up like tape and stuff on the walls that would glow in blacklight. I'm going to do some like grid patterns, some like cyber like chip looking things on the walls. And I'm going to hang up a whole bunch of black lights.
Yeah.
And we're going to have that type of music playing. We're going to have like some Daft Punk, some Glitch Mob, a whole bunch of other like... Theory. Okay, yeah, we'll get some of that. Sure. That genre of music. We'll have that playing. And I'm just going to have some drinks.
And have fun and
I'm going to have a TV in the corner of the living room playing the Tron movies.
Okay.
Which, well, you're probably not going to be able to hear it because of the music.
Yeah.
But just to add to the feel, we got the Tron movies playing.
Yeah. This actually reminds me, I saw a game at the WeCon thing that I actually think that you might enjoy because it reminded me a lot of Tron. It's called Nitrous Rage. It's a really cool game. It's on PC. It's completely free. you can just download it. The people from Achievement Hunter apparently played it.
Oh, all right.
Or
Show me afterwards.
Yeah, I'll show you afterwards. But it just reminded me. I thought you might be interested.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You better show up.
Yep. You as well.
Everybody. Oh God, there's nobody in here. We didn't open the door for them, Jeffrey.
Oh my God! What?
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Guys!
Go get the door.
No. All right. Well, sorry.
They probably left.
Yeah.
Oh,
This whole entire time, nobody's been listening to us.
Darn it. That's why.
That's my soapbox.
Cool. I don't really have a soapbox, honestly.
That's okay. We can fucking skip it.
Yeah.
No soapbox for you guys.
I don't need a soapbox.
Do you have a Netflix recommendation?
Yes. Event Horizon.
Oh my God! Don't tell people to watch that.
I'm telling them to watch it. I finally watched it, I guess it was 3 or 4 months back or whatever.
Why would you recommend that? It's not good.
It's not. But
It has a great first 30 minutes,
Yeah.
and then everything else is just crap.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something,
I'm just
what
gonna
was it
say,
about something
go
about
watch
the
it.
spaceship using wormhole technology for light speed, and
It just...
by going into wormholes, it's actually taking you through hell.
Yes.
Right? That was the thing?
Mostly, yes.
And so, Satan came aboard the ship and started, giving everybody weird visions, and they started dying because they were actually in hell.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
the premise, while not terrible,
It was just...
really dumb.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, people have told me...
It had Dr. Grant in it.
Yeah, it also had fucking Morpheus in it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, if you want to give it a watch, I'm not actually full on recommending that you
Don't
need
watch
to
it,
watch
guys. It's not good.
It's like a...
Maybe it's like... Maybe it's one of those movies that we could watch drunk and heckle, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's there. I watched
Jeffrey, we did it! We did it. What's the time?
What is the time?
An hour and a half.
Hour and a half.
I'm like, high five me. Hive mind me.
Hive mind me?
Hive mind me.
Oh my God. No. Look, it's not on camera. Microphone. Not on microphone. Yeah.
So we guys hope you enjoyed listening to another episode of Unwind Rewind, and I hope you guys like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
I like turtles. Holy shit, that was the joke I was gonna make. Oh God damn it, I missed it.
You missed so many jokes today.
So many jokes I could have made. I missed. I was gonna say that
Yeah.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie needs to have a cameo of that kid.
That would be adorable.
He needs to show up.
That would be cool. That would be cool.
And it needs to be at the end of the movie after the turtles save everybody in New York, and they're just interviewing random people on the streets.
Oh my God! Yes.
And they interview that
April
guy.
O'Neil interviews him.
She interviews that guy. He's not a kid anymore.
Oh really? He's not.
Well, I mean, what that video is from 2005 or something.
Oh wow! Yeah.
That's old. That dude's
he's
our age, right? Or maybe not quite.
Shit. No, he'd be
I don't know.
I don't know. He's probably 16, 17.
I don't know. Get him.
Yeah.
Get the same
Get
exact
that kid.
and get him to just be like, I like the turtles.
With his whole painted
Yeah.
face.
He's got the painted face and stuff like that. I like turtles. Why is that not a thing? Make it happen.
Nickelodeon, what are you doing?
Are you listening?
With your life? Are you listening? I mean, we ragged you earlier for everything.
We're sorry.
Listen, we're sorry.
Make this happen. Everything is forgiven.
You would make so much money.
Or 4chan would just be pissed at you because you used a meme.
Yeah.
Internet seems to hate it when you actually use internet jokes.
Which is interesting, because they always want to, put that everywhere. But then once when it is everywhere, they're like, I don't like it. Internet, you're hipster. Put your glasses away, your scarf down, your fucking Arizona tees aside.
I'm gonna slap that fucking fedora off your head.
Right? I've had it up to fucking here.
I've had it up to here.
I've had it up to fucking here. The amount of fucking hipster wearing fedora fucking pieces of shit internet is too damn high. And with that beam out of the way. Anyways.
I'm Nick.
I'm Jeffrey.
Hope you had another enjoyable experience listening to this bullshit, and we'll see you again. Wait a second. What's the password?
Oh shit, well, do we need one? Because it's not past the time.
Shit, abort mission!
Shit.
Abort mission!
Look.